Nestling in the South Downs, in the gap beside the River Ouse, Lewes, historic county town of Sussex. Beneath its 11th century castle, Lewes once prospered as an inland port, where at the town quay, barges would load their cargoes of timber, corn, wool and iron products, and perhaps the odd barrel of beer. But all that came to an end in Victorian times with the coming of the railway. Lewes would never be the same again. The station building itself has changed little in its 120-year history, though the same can't really be said about the style of dress. These were the good old days, when you could let the train take the strain to remote places like Ardingly, Isfield and Withyham. Passengers could also travel up to East Grinstead, direct from Lewes. And from here you'd jump aboard an old puffer and take the 20-mile trip along the Bluebell line, or Green Lane as the locals used to call it, all the way to East Grinstead. Green Lane because this really was the most rural of the branch lines, calling as it did at Barkham, Newark and Chailey, Sheffield Park, Horsted Canes, West Hoathly, Kingscote and finally East Grinstead. Like many branch lines all over the country, the Lewes and East Grinstead Railway fell victim to road competition and many years of neglect. Despite a period of resistance, the line eventually succumbed to the inevitable in the late 1950s. But much of the line was saved. The Bluebell now survives as the oldest and best-known preserved railway, thanks to strong public backing and a group of enthusiasts who refuse to let their railway die. And these are the people who make it all happen, the small army of volunteers who give so much of their time and expertise. And there's always room for more.
The more volunteers that we can get, that we can pass on skills that we possess, and predominantly that they enjoy doing them, that's why they come here, the better really. But no, they are a total asset to the place, they really are. We can't survive without them.
Have you made it a great laugh?
No, they work.
I come once a week on Tuesdays to see what I can do to help out. Normally it's putting the bits back on that have fallen off over the weekend.
Well, it's a hobby of mine. I've been interested in steam for years, since I was a little nipper. And to actually work on them now, it's great fun.
One of the amusing things is that when I was serving my time as in the railway works at Ashford, I used to do jobs and I was on piecework and I got fourpence for doing a job. And I come here now and I do the same job and I do it for nothing. And I think, here we are, this is progress. 60 years later and I'm doing the same job for nothing.
They've been restoring engines at the Bluebell Railway since the beginning. This one's the Earl of Berkeley, way back in 1964. Well, here's the Earl now, looking as good as new, looking absolutely magnificent. Now, they call these engines Dukedogs because they combine the chassis of a bulldog with the boiler of a Duke. So now you know. And now's the time for me to take a ride. The Earl of Berkeley came to the Bluebell in 1962 after serving on the Cambrian lines, and it's been here ever since. These vintage Chesham carriages, now beautifully restored, go right back to the 1890s. Isn't it amazing that you can still travel like this? All the sights, sounds, and yes, smells from another age.
Rails rattle, carriages sway, oh what a joy, we're on our way. Slow at first and then she glides through the beautiful countryside. When the sun is shining, the weather is fine, I love to take a trip on the Bluebell line. Oh what fun to ride the train to Kingscote Station, Sheffield Park and a Halstead cane.
I don't like to see things stuffed and mounted in museums. I mean, this is alive, it's real, it's tangible.
I just love doing it. I'm preserving something and I feel great about it.
Turn up is the thing. Just turn up and be interested in doing something.
We've got 3 granddaughters and they love coming over here. They range between now 12 and 15. But even when they were 3 and 4, they were coming over here and they thought it was fantastic to see how it was in Grandpa's day. And it is important, it's part of English heritage.